Okay, hello. This is another video tutorial. And in the last tutorial, I recreated this Google Bard whole hero section. And today we are going to be recreating heroes. We're going to be recreating WhatsApp hero section. So, um, so we are going to start straight away. Um, I'm going to create a new page where I'm going to put the design. So let's call this page Google Bard, and let's call this um, WhatsApp. Yeah. So as usual, the first thing to do is to add a frame. I'm going to come under desktop. I'll add a desktop frame. Okay, let me add my usual frame. So um, just as you can see, I want to take a screenshot of this page to make some explanations. Yes. So now, just mere looking at this screen, what we have here is we have the logo, the navigation links, and the call to action. So let me draw, let me create a box around it. So this is the logo. This is the logo. I'll increase the visibility of the box. Yes, the logo is a box. So just like I said, I want you to treat everything that you see on the interface as a box. This is the call to action button, which is a box. Then the navigation link is a box. So the features is a box. Then inside this box, we have another box, which is for the icon. Then we have the box for privacy, help center, blog, for business, WhatsApp web, and downloads. So so in the midst of all of this, we have a bigger box that encloses all of these navigation links together, which is this. This is the bigger box. Then we have this for the hero section, for the hero image. Yes, and inside the hero section, uh, we still have this, which is a box. This is also a box. This is a box, and this is a box. this is a box, this is a box, and this is a box. So I'm only helping you to understand the structure of a website or a design, and this is the structure that we're going to follow. So we're going to be using boxes to arrange everything on our design. But just to let you know, the box is going to be an auto layout frame. So we're not just going to be using just any box, it's going to be an auto layout frame. So now let's start with the header. First, we are going to get the WhatsApp logo. The WhatsApp logo is a very common logo, so we don't have to create it by ourselves. There's a plugin that can help us with that. So to use your plugin, you come to resources, you click on plugin, and you can search for plugin. So we're going to look for brand fetch. Then I run the plugin. So let's wait for the plugin to load up. So if you are very new to the plugin, this is what you're going to see. You have to go through this step. Then you click on next, 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 and you can click on we'll do later. So and click on get started. So all we want to do is to get to this page, the explore page, where you get to see the search bar. So inside the search bar, we're going to look for WhatsApp. So this is WhatsApp. Then we are going to look for the one that has SVG, which is this one. So there are two ways. It's either you click and it will be imported into your screen, just like this, or a better way is to drag it so that by the time you drop it, you will know the exact point that it has been exported to. So I'm going to drag it and place it right here. So yes, I think that is all I need to do. Then I will simply close this brand fetch. So so you know, if you want to go back to open the brand fetch, you can either go through the same route you followed to get it the first time, or you can, because it is a plugin that you have used before. Figma has a way to help you quickly get to it. So if you right click on your screen and you look for plugin, you will see brand fetch, which is your most recent plugin. So that's a way to get it. So what I will do is, if you notice, I have WhatsApp, the WhatsApp icon, but if you check the name at the top, there's WhatsApp logo svg.svg there. So this is the name of this frame, but it is only showing the name because the frame is not inside the main screen. So the moment you put the frame into the main screen, so the moment you put the frame that carries the WhatsApp icon into this main screen, this name will no longer show. So we're going to drag it now. We drag this from here. Just move your cursor to the part that has the name of the frame at the top and simply drag. Note that I am not clicking WhatsApp and dragging. If you click WhatsApp and drag, you are dragging it out of the frame, and that's not what we want. We want to drag it with the frame. So drag it slowly and place it inside the page. So before we continue, we are going to create our grid system. Always use your grid system because the grid system will guide you in aligning your content on your screen. So looking at the design we have here, if I'm to measure the grid system that he used, I cannot get it accurately, but I can get the margin. So I'm going to I'm going to resize this box to touch the edge of this image here, and yes, then I'll check the width. So that's 39. So let's say they use 40 pixels for their margin. So I'm going to delete this. So let's let's continue. Let's create our grid system now. So I'm going to click on this MacBook Pro 14. So we can also rename it to WhatsApp Hero section. So just for clarity. So I'm going to click on WhatsApp Hero section and come to layout grid. Then I click on plus. You can either click the layout grid directly or you click on plus. Any of it works. Then you click on layout grid settings. Then you open the grid and select column. Change it from grid to column. So now for website, the column we are going to use is 12, and the margin. Remember I said when we measured the margin on this WhatsApp page, it was 40. So I'm going to put 40 here. Then we can leave the gutter as 20, or because um, the gutter will be determined by the spacing between their content here. So they look like they have a lot of white space in between. So we can increase our gutter to like 30 pixels. So I'm going to close that, and there you go. We have our grid. So I'm going to move this WhatsApp icon and align it with the grid. So notice that the first time when I was bringing this in, I was not dragging from here, I was dragging from the top like this. But once it's inside the page and you no longer see that name at the top, you can now drag it from any part. So I'm going to align this the with the frame with the grid system. So notice that yes, there is something I missed out here. So we have a box that's carrying this and all of this. Then we have another box that is carrying the entire header. That's carrying the entire header, just like this. So we are going to start from the smallest box, then we create all the way to the biggest. So now let's create the feature. So we are going to use the text tool, or T for the shortcut. Then I'll click on where I want to type, then I'll type features. Yes, features. And I'm going to make sure my font size is between 14 to 18. So I'm going to be using 16. I'll come here. um, Now we want to I want to add the icon. So note that it is only this one that has two boxes inside. The others are one single boxes. So I'm going to um, come to my plugin, because I want to use a plugin to get that icon, the down icon right here. Yes. So I'm going to use a plugin to get it. So I'll come right here again, the same way I got the brand fetch. So instead of brand fetch now, I'm going to look for iconify. Then I will run it. Then I'll this icon library contains a lot of icon library inside it. So it's like a very big library that encompass a lot of other libraries. So now we are going to search for down or drop down. Anyone works, just search for down as long as it has down. So we're going to see so many options. Well, I'm going to go with just one of them. I'm going to go with this. So um, let me do that again. So when I get this, there are two methods to import these two. So there are different ways to import depending on the plugin you're using. So if I click on this, it will show me this. Then here I can decide that the height of, I can specify is a specific height for the icon. But by default, the height is 24 unless you alter it here. Unless you alter it here, it is when you alter it here that the default size will change. But you can see that we have a default size of 24 by 24, and that is what you need. So instead of trying to click on import and let it import it to anywhere it likes, just drag it out so that you can see where it is going to drop itself. So and when you are dragging it out, make sure you are dragging it out and dropping it outside the page. This is because if you drop it directly inside the page, let's do an example. I'm going to drop one into the page and drop one outside the page. So now in some situations, when you drop it inside the page, this is what you get. Can you see? Let me turn off the grid. Can you see my icon is still carrying that name? As long as it's carrying that name, it means that it is not inside the page. It is only on top of the page, just like this one, but in a different position. So if you ever encounter something like this, all you have to do is to bring it out first, or and bring it back in. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can just come to the layer panel, look for the page. This is WhatsApp hero section, and this is the icon. You can see that when I hover on it, it is highlighted on the screen. This is the icon. All I need to do is to drag it into the page, just like this, and the name will leave. So take note and always watch out for this. So let us delete this. But the simplest way is to just bring it out first. Like when you drag it out of the plugin, you bring it out, you put it at an empty space outside, just very close to the page that you want to put it, then you drag it into the page. So let's place it near the features. So now before I use before I start using boxes now, I want to make a duplicate of features. So by pressing Ctrl D, I can easily make a duplicate on top of this and then drag it out. But another alternative to creating a duplicate is to click on the content you want to duplicate, hold your Alt key, click and drag, then you'll be able to create a duplicate. Click, hold your Alt key, click again and drag. It's as simple as that. So now, I told you that this icon is a box. So now you can see that when I select this, I can turn it, I can give it a stroke so that you can see the box I'm talking about. You can see I have a stroke now, and it's the box. Then this, I'm going to turn this into, I'm going to add auto layout to this. Shift A or add auto layout. Then after adding this auto layout, I will add stroke to show the box. So let's delete this and make a duplicate of this. Yes. So now we can easily join them together, just like what you are seeing here. So I'm going to join this and this. Don't worry about the boxes, we will come back for it later. We are going to remove it later. So but before we go, let us give the boxes a very unique color that is not the same as the other colors there. So let's give it like a green. Yes. So no, don't let us give it a green. Green is not unique. The WhatsApp icon has a green. So um, let's use a blue. Let's use a blue. Yes, I think blue is okay. Just like the boxes that we have there. So now we're going to put this and this into a auto layout. So I'll right click. So I can, to make the selection, I can simply draw a box like this, or you click this, hold your shift key and click this other one, it will select both of them. So you are holding shift key to select, hold shift key to select, and hold shift key to select both of them. Then you can simply add auto layout. So now when we add the auto layout, auto layout has some settings. We want the gap between them to be 0, we want them to touch each other. Then we want the box that is carrying the two of them to have a padding of, okay, before we add the padding, let me add the stroke. So I'm going to add stroke and change the color of the stroke to blue again. So notice that this is a box itself, this is another box, but there's a box that is carrying the two of them. But because the box has no padding, it is touching this other bigger box, and you cannot see it on this side. You can only see the excess space around this on this side. So let us give it padding. So let us give it like a padding of 4 pixels horizontally and vertically. Now you can see that there's a box that is carrying the two of them. So let's proceed. um, let's reduce this padding to 4 padding on 4 pixels horizontally and vertically. Yes, so we have our feature. So the next thing we are going to do is to change the name of this to privacy. So I'm going to double click inside, double click again to select the text, delete, and type privacy. Then I'm going to make a duplicate of the entire um, text with the auto layout surrounding it. Then I will change the text to help center. So let us change the stroke of these boxes to blue, because remember I said we need a unique color. So why I'm using a unique color is because I want us to be able to remove that color at once, all together, by the time we finish this design. So I'm going to make another duplicate using holding my alt key. Then we type the next one, which is blog. I'm going to hold my alt key again, make a duplicate of it, type the next one, which is for business. Another one is WhatsApp web. And the last one is download. Okay, now that we have created all of the navigation links, we are going to select them all. So I'm going to draw a box to make a selection. After selecting them, we're going to add auto layouts to them together. So I'm going to add auto layout like this. Remember what happened here when I added the auto layouts for frame and for features and the eye and the drop down arrow. So the same thing is going to happen here. So now I've added the auto layout. So let's add stroke. You can see that the stroke is touching the top and bottom of this box, but not touching the rest. So let us give it a 4 pixel padding so that it will not touch the box. So we want to see that gap, we want to see the difference in the boxes. So for you to add padding, so what I did just now was that this thing was on 0, but because I wanted to add a round padding to it, so this is for horizontal, this is for vertical, but if you want to do it all round, you will hold your control key and select any of these two. So once you click it once, holding your by holding your alt key, you will see all padding. Then you can now give it a single padding that will go round both top, left, bottom, and right. So you can see that we have this bigger box now. We have this one that is carrying the feature and the drop down. Then we have the one that's carrying feature itself. Then we have the one that's carrying the drop down. Now we have the one that's carrying privacy, help center, blog for business, WhatsApp, and download. So now let us go and create the last thing on the header, which is the download button. So we are going to type download again. So just like what we did to all of this, we are going to add auto layout to it. Okay, before we do that, remember the download as an icon just like this. So before we add the auto layout, we're going to look for this icon. Although we can even do it, we can even put the icon after we have added auto layout. So because I've already done this first method by looking for the icon first and putting them into auto layout after I've gotten the icon, let me do the second method where we are going to create the auto layout first, then we now add the icon after. So now let us add auto layout. Add auto layout. So the padding around this, we don't need to tamper with that yet. We don't really, it's not really going to be a problem. But what we want to do is we want to fill this button with black. So we change the fill to black. So with this black, notice that the download is not visible because the download to is black. So we have black. So what you do is you double click to select the download inside, then you change the download to white, just like this. So I'm going to come to this place and round the corner. So I'm going to select the auto layout frame and come to corner radius at the top here. Then I can just put like 100, like just to get the maximum rounded corner that it can get. So one good thing with button is the padding on the left and right must be more than the padding on the top and bottom. Although sometimes you can have equal padding, but in most cases, or for this case of this button that we're trying to create, we're going to have um, we're going to have the horizontal padding more than the vertical padding. So we're going to multiply the vertical padding times 2, which is 10 times 2 is 20. So we're going to put 20 on horizontal, and that should be good enough for the button. So now let's go ahead and get the icon. So remember I said when you have used a plugin before, you can just simply right click and look for plugin and reopen it. So I'm not going to go through this route again. I'm going to go through this route now. So I'm going to remove down. Now I will search for download, and I will search. I'll hit enter and search. So the exact download button or icon that we're looking for is like this. So let us look for that exact type. um let's see the next page. Okay, I guess this one looks good. It kind of looks good. So let's use this. No, let me see. Okay, yes, let us use this. Mm, yeah, let's just go with this. I'm going to drag it and bring it outside here. Hmm. So now for this one now, there's a problem because when I drag it out, the size is become has become so big. So do not panic. All you have to do is just let it be selected. Just select it and come down to this place. First, you will lock the constraint proportions. Then you change this to 24, just one of it, and it goes back to the normal size. Do you get? So I hope you understand what I just did there. So let me come back again. So when I dragged it out of the plugin, it became so big. So all I had to do was select it from the name, come to this place. I can see 1024 by 1024. So that means the size of that icon is 1024 by 1024. So I'm going to lock the constraint proportions. Then I'm now going to change it to 24. That's the size I need. So by locking the constraint proportion, it is just going to help me to use one single value to control both the height and width. That is the simple implication. So I'm going to, after I change it to 24, then I will drag it and bring it into the screen. So now we want to place this button inside this place. So but notice that the button is black. By the time we put it inside this place, it will be white. And another issue is that this background is white. So if we turn the button to white, um we might not we might not see it on the screen again, because it will just blend into the screen and you'll not see it. Let me show you. If we change it to white, what happens? It disappears. Although it is there, but you are not going to see it. So what you can do is we can give the button a separate color, a very unique color like yellow, so that it will work on both black and white background. Then when we take it into the button, we can now change the color back to white. So what we do is, for us to bring this button into this, to bring this icon into this button, we can do it two ways. We can either drag it and bring it. You see, when I put my cursor here, there's a blue line that is showing you. It's showing you that the button will be placed on the right. If I drag it to this side, it's showing me that it's going to be placed on the left, and that is because this button has um and the auto layout settings to be on horizontal layout. Assuming it's vertical, if I do this, you will not see anything. You will only see at the top and bottom. So make sure the button alignment is set to horizontal layout first. Then we'll now drag this and put it here like this. Alternatively, if we don't want to go through that route, the only thing that is common to the two methods is that this must be on horizontal alignment or horizontal layout. So what we can do is we can click on this and press Ctrl X or Ctrl C, any of it works, or copy. So we'll come here, select this, and we'll right click and say paste here. No, and just say paste. Paste as okay. We can't paste like that. We can only use Ctrl V. Ctrl V. So if we use Ctrl V, it will paste inside. But I feel this is a lot easier for you. So when you just put it just place itself inside the button. So notice that there is a gap in between the text and the icon, and we can control that gap by using the auto layout settings for the horizontal gap between items. So we can change it to, let's say, 4 pixels. I guess I think 4 is okay. Yes. So look at this, and now since we have brought this into this place, we can now change the color back to white. So now we have created the button. So let us place the button on the edge of the grid. So I'm going to use Shift G to enable my grid. Then we are going to place the button at the edge just like this. Then this one is going to stay at the middle. So you can see like an imaginary line that just shows when this thing is sitting on the middle. But even if you want to get the middle point, you just simply come and align it to center here. So but remember, I talked about a bigger box that carries all of them, which is this particular blue one that carries all of them together. So we are going to create that box now. So I'm going to select this, holding shift, I will select this, I will select this. Then I will now add auto layout again. So what I'm basically doing is I'm creating a bigger box around it. So for that auto layout, the alignment of the text, we want it to be at the center. Can you see? Align center, just like this. So you might not see any difference when I did it, but if you look closely, you'll see a difference. So look at this WhatsApp icon, and when I do this, You can see. So um yes, so let's continue. So I'm going to add a stroke to this on this side, just like this. Then I'll 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 change the color of the stroke to blue, just like the others. Then remember, I'm always giving a padding so that I can see what is going on. I can see the gap. So I'm going to give a padding of 4 pixels. So, and if you look closely now, we have the box that's carrying the three of them. It is visible now. So what we are going to do is we're going to make sure this box is aligned to the grid. And this is where the manual resizing of the box of auto layout comes in now. So to manually resize the auto layout, we're going to drag this and put it here like this, and we can also manually resize from the right. So but what this does to your work is that sometimes you might not be able to control it, but what I will advise you to do is that when you have when you want to create a header, once you have created a box that is aligned to the grid like this, create another auto layout on top of it. So this method will help you to properly align your header to the grid, and it will avoid any errors. So I'm going to right click and um, I'm going to add another auto layout. So I'm going to use shift A. So I'm going to add stroke to that auto layout. You know, shift A is the shortcut for auto layout. So yes, so I've added another auto layout. You can see I have two boxes around each other now. So now you see this bigger one. You can now manually adjust it to fit the full width of the page. The full width of the page. So now this way we are now going to utilize the functionality of auto layout much more. So I'm going to align this to center again, and when I align it to center, you can see that my auto layout is the one inside is touching this edge now. But that is not even what we want to achieve. We want this bigger auto layout that is taking the full width to behave just like the grid. So remember the padding that we use for our grid, the margin is 40. So we are going to make this padding 40. We're going to put 40 on the left and right. Then we'll now come into the auto layout inside just by double clicking. Then we'll come here and change the settings to fill container. So we are basically telling Figma to allow this box inside to fill all of the space that is available inside the bigger box here. So again, we are going to also do another one last setting inside this place. So this box, the gap between this and this and this is 182, but we can use another um, method to create the gap which Figma has, which is the automatic gap. So when I click it, I can click on this drop down and pick auto. So if you click that, Figma is only going to spread out all of your items based on the space that is available. So it is not you specifying any particular pixel of gap. You are only telling Figma to utilize all of the space inside the box and fill it out. So, and that's what we have done. So now the header have been created. So before we continue, let us quickly see a preview of how the page looks like. So I'm going to hide the Figma UI. So because we have this mockup, I'm going to remove the mockup, come to prototype, show prototype settings, device, then we'll switch to none all the way to the top, none. So this is how we want our design to look like. So you can see that we have the boxes, but now we want to get rid of the boxes so that we just have our header plain like this. So the boxes was just to help you understand how the layout works, but we don't actually need to show it. You don't actually need to show it. You just have to understand the way auto layout works and the layer and the design layout, and you just be able to create it. You don't need to show the boxes. So I'm going to remove the box. So remember I gave it a unique color which is blue. That is a color that is not showing in any other place inside the header apart from the strokes. And that is because I want to be able to remove it in one with one click. So when I click the header, so we can rename this one to header. So I'll come to the layout panel, then this is frame 12. I'll rename it to header. So we can click on this header, then I will scroll down to this place. You see something called selection colors. So what Figma is telling you is that inside this selection there are so many colors and you can see all of the colors. Look at the color for the WhatsApp. This is the color for the text. For the button, this is the color for the text. This is the white color for the text inside the button. This is another color for, I don't know where this color is coming from, but it's inside. Yeah, it's also the color for the text. Yes. So what we want to do now is we want to remove only the blue color. So we'll come here, we'll click on this. So select 12 using this color. That means there are 12 items inside this frame that is using this color. Then once I click this, it will select all of them. Then we'll come to stroke and simply remove. Just press minus. So we press minus on this. So we can see that it is only the one outside that has removed. So we'll come back again and press it the second time, and you can see that it has not selected all of the ones that are inside. Then we'll remove just like this. We'll select the next. We'll come back again, select it. We'll keep removing, and just like that, you can see that I don't need to go inside. I don't need to start double clicking inside to remove what I want to remove. And you can see that we have a clean header now. Our header is already looking good. So let us there's a color that this background has which is not white. So the color is here. We're just going to use the eyedropper tool to pick it. So I'm going to come to fill. I'm going to select the eyedropper tool and pick this color, and that is the color that we're going to use. So the next thing is for us to create this header. So I'm going to use the frame tool F, and I'll create a frame just like this. So I'm trying to align that frame to the grid. So we fill the frame with white, yes. So we are going to give it we are going to give it rounded corner of like 20 pixels. Yes. So it's already looking like our image. So remember I sent you the assets, but even at that, if you don't want to get the assets, you can get it by yourself. But I'm not going to show that now because it's going to confuse you. So we're going to switch the fill from solid fill to picture. So then I'll choose the image that I want to use to fill it. I'll come to training files, WhatsApp assets. Then yeah, I'm just going to pick this, and yes, we have the picture. We have the picture there. So just like I've always told you, always check your design as you move. Always check your design. So I can see that this picture looks a bit too long. Is it too long? I don't think it's too long, but let's just reduce the height a bit, just like this. Yes, I think this is better. So we can now close this. Then we now type the text here. What's even the message again? Message privately. So I'm just going to copy it from here. Copy, paste, message privately. Right? So we are going to increase the size of this. So we don't know the exact size, but there's a way you can know the size that was used on the website. So you might now understand the way this works. It's the inspect tool of the browser. So this is 80 pixels. You can see 80 pixels font under color. You can see 80 pixels a vertical nowhere. So we are going to switch this to 80 pixels. So I'm going to break it into two lines, and I'm going to place it somewhere here. Let me see. So now you can see that the text are very closely packed. So and my text is not closely packed. So what I'll do is I'll come here, letter spacing. I'll reduce it just like this. Yes, I think this one looks good enough. Yes. Then I can now place it where it needs to be. Yes, somewhere around here should be good enough. So now in this context now, this is like the point where you might need your ruler. So if you use shift R, you can enable your ruler. So this is the point where you might need your ruler just to be able to place all of this on the line, because now they are not really following the grid. Although you can still use the grid, Control G, I mean Shift G. So we can decide to use the grid to align it by selecting this, then aligning it on one of the lines of the grid. Can you see? So I can move it and align it to this grid just like this. Yes. So that could work. But if you don't want to do that, you can also bring your ruler and just place it on that line, and you'll be good to go. So now let us create the remaining text. This, copy. Then remember that the last text that we used was 80 pixels. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this using my alt. Then I'll reduce this to like say 16 for now. Then I'll paste this inside. Then let's come and find out the size of this text. So I'm going to select this. Yeah, the font size is 18, so let's use 18, and let's just type 18 manually. Then we can change the text to medium. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Doesn't even look like, okay. Yeah, that's good enough. So let's break this to three lines. So then we have another button here. So we're just going to make a duplicate of this. Come here, copy, copy. Then we'll paste here. Then I will align this to the ruler too. So so the ruler is only helping me not to turn on the grid every time. But if I don't want to use the ruler, I can simply be turning on the grid and be aligning it by myself. It's still the same thing. So now I'm noticing something. The button looks like it has more padding top and bottom. So now let's come to this place. Let's add more padding on top and bottom. So let's say we want to increase this to like 16. Yes, and we bring this to 32. Okay, I think it looks better. It looks better. Yes, so let us change this to this. So I copied this button, then I'm going to right click and paste to replace. So I'm only placing to replace this one that is there already. So I think we have something that looks more like the button here. So So now we have created this part. So let us quickly create this. That will be the end of the tutorial. Um, okay, before we do that, let's get the color. Let's paint the button with the right color. So I'm going to select this button. I'm going to come to fill. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to select this green. Then the text inside is white and the button is white. So we are going to change them to white, black. Yeah, we're going to change it to black. I'm going to change this to black too. Yes, so I'm going to copy it again. Control C. Then I'll paste to replace. So the shortcut for paste to replace is Control Shift R, but you can also do it by right clicking. So now you can see that I said that this is a box, this is a box, this is a box. So we're going to create an auto layout around this. So you can see that this is already a box, but we need to join them together now. So we're going to create an auto layout with this. Then we will now select this and this. Then we create auto layout around it again. So yeah, I think that's good enough. So now let us create this. So we already have it in the assets. So I'm going to I'm going to just create boxes for it. So I'll use F to open my frame. Then I'll fill it with color first, then I'll change it to image, then I'll open this, then place it. So now this is filling the container. I don't want it to fill it, I just want it to fit. I want it to fit to fit the container so I can resize it anywhere I like. So that's the first one. So we're going to make a duplicate of this box again, holding Alt and clicking. Then I will switch the image inside. I'll go and select another image. Okay, so I did not save this one, so let me just save it now. Um, so I've saved it, so I'm going to go and pick it from that location, which is this. Yes. So so the next one is so yeah. So the next one is this. So note we can put all of this inside auto layout. So I'm going to select these two and add auto layouts. So I'm now going to use Ctrl G now to make the duplicate. So it's easier to use Ctrl G to make duplicates inside auto layouts because it won't duplicate on top of each other. It will duplicate beside or above or beneath each other. So I'm going to change the image here. What's the next image? Let's see. Yes, this one. So I'm going to select this. Where is it? I think this is it. Yes. Then I'm going to press Ctrl D again to make a duplicate of this. Then I'm going to change the image to this, I guess. Is that it? Okay. So now this for this one we're going to increase the height so that it will be big enough to touch this part. So we're going to expand it just like that. Yes. So I want to believe that this this is separate um, this is a separate image. So let us save it too. Let us save it. Let's just save it like that. So there's So for this image, it is a circle, right? So we are going to have to create a circle and put the circle inside that place. So I'm going to create a circle using the ellipse tool, O. Then I'll create the circle, I'll fill it with white. Then I'll come and drag it and paste it here, just like this. Then I'll reduce the size, make it very small, place it here. So this frame now, why this thing is cutting it, because the frame that's carrying this picture has the settings to set to clip content. So I will tick this so that it will show the remaining part of the circle. Then inside the circle, I'll now go and look for the image. And I'll look for that image, which is this. I'll fit, uh, no, fill, then crop. So why I'm doing that is because the image is a long image. So even if I wanted to do it, if I don't want to use that circle, I can still use another method. So maybe I should use the second method. I didn't know that that image is a long image. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a duplicate of this smaller box. Then we bring it down on the auto layout. So don't worry, let's increase the height of this so that you can see. So we are going to reduce the height back, but just let's bring the image in first. So I'm going to change this image just like this to this. So I'm going to reduce the height of the image like that. Yes. So now in this context, this is a frame, this is another frame, but because this thing is supposed to be inside this frame, so we're going to drag this frame and put it frame 19, we put it inside frame 18. So we can do it from the upper panel like this, frame 18. So they are now inside each other, but visually they still look like they are outside. So you can just use your arrow direction to move it, just like this. Yeah. So this looks like a lot of work, but for your design to be properly aligned, this is the best way. But even if you don't want to do it that way, right? You can simply just copy the image. You can still place it here, paste here, and go and place it wherever you want to place. It works. It was just like I've told you before. This is the way I personally like to do it because it is always like I always uh, do things. I like to do things in a way that makes it look standard. So so now let us expand this WhatsApp hero section down a bit because we still have one more image to go. So I will do this. I'll drag this and expand it a bit. Then here, just like I did for the first one, I'm going to make a duplicate here again, bring it down. Then we'll change the image now. We'll change it to this one. Yep. So yes, so we already think this is good enough. So I think we have excess space below. Okay, so now the this entire box now that I have seen that is carrying all of this box now is supposed to be closer to the top. So let's move it up so that we don't have to be expanding the size of the bigger frame that much. Yes. So we can also scale it down. So if you feel like it's too big, you can scale it. So using the scale tool here, we can still scale it down a bit to make it look smaller if it's too big. So you can see that we have successfully created what we have here. You can see. So yeah, it is very simple and straightforward. Yeah. So I hope this helps you to understand it better, and I hope you can you can create you can use the knowledge you have gained from here to create the remaining part of the website by yourself. So that will be all for this tutorial. Please like, subscribe. You can share with your friends that are trying to learn Figma too. subscribe to my channel. You can turn on the notification bell so that you can get more contents from me or get notified when I drop more content like this. So yeah, that will be all. That will be all for this tutorial. See you in the next one.